All right. Well, welcome back to What They Won't Tell You with Sherry Onchara, the Quantum Truth. And today we got a very interdimensional episode for you. What are dimensions and time? Is the question on our agenda today.
Oh, well, number one, time is not what you think it is.
Hmm.
So I will give you about time. If you write down the word time and you split it in half, it spells timey. Too much time, too little time, not enough time. And you
Keep
take the
blowing
word,
my mind with these small words,
I
Sherry.
know. And then you take the word time, turn it around, it
Timey.
spells emit.
Oh my
Oh my
gosh.
God, isn't this fabulous? So, we're going to talk about time and dimensions.
Mm,
So, we are sort of trapped. That's why I'm given the truth. And so, we
mm,
get untrapped.
mm,
And so, dimensions are actually spaces. And I'm going to do space and time.
hmm.
So, what is time all about? Well, we're in a space. We're in a space here, correct?
Right.
You go
Yeah.
to the bathroom, you're in a space.
You're in a
You're in a
space.
bedroom.
Hmm.
You go outside, you're in a space. You travel you go to another space, and there's outer space. But the
Hmm.
inner space within you has all these answers. And when you're not afraid, and by the way, fear is lack of correct information, and that's why I'm giving you the truth. And so when you become more expansive and see that time is just an increment of space, a dimension, a place, a space to be in, and you are more conscious, and the more conscious you become, the more you can connect to these other dimensions. So I was teaching a course, and guess what? A vehicle came over my house.
A
I'm going
vehicle?
to call it a vehicle.
Oh, okay.
Okay, got it?
Gotcha. I
Got
got a
it? I'm winking.
vehicle.
A vehicle
But
came.
for those in
Oh,
the podcast, we're winking right now.
yes, we are
So
winking. It was a vehicle. And so I had this experience, and these fabulous people, you can call them
Mm,
beings. And you know what? Let's break a BLE system here. There's no such thing as an extraterrestrial. There's nothing extra about them except they have better technology.
mm,
And you've got it too. So now that we got that truth set aside, given our power away,
mm.
these two fabulous groups of people, beings, whatever, and I just happened to call them blue because they're blue. Can you imagine? And they came in and they were the gold people and they were gold. Well, aren't there brown people and black people and white people and different colors of people on this planet? Hello. So do you suppose it's any different in another dimension? Like,
Right.
it's so ridiculous. It's so obvious.
So
And
we have a couple pictures here today. I want to see kind of what we're going to share this with the audience and kind of describe it to those on the podcast. So this first photo here.
yes, that is in my classroom where I teach in my property. And this vehicle happened to pop over for a visit, and they got out of their vehicle. Don't you go to the grocery store and get out of
Hmm.
your vehicle, call the car, or you go on an airplane and you call it a ship. Excuse me. And so they came in and they connected with these women that were in my course. And we just had the best time. And you can see them coming in. And that's actually through a
See it
door.
over here for
Yes.
sure. It's glowing. I'm gonna
Yes.
pull it a little back real
Ooh.
quick for me and
And
Sherry, but
there, and that those are actually doors, and they've got, wood, but for the windows. And they came in and they visited with us, and I have many more than that. And this was actually taken on a cell phone by one of the attendants or attendees in the class. And
so how can cameras capture what we can't see?
you know why we can't see?
Because we're not registering the truth or inner
Yes,
truth.
because we're told we can't see, that
Right.
we can't realize with real eyes. And see, I
Real eyes
love
with real eyes.
so
Love it.
I love seeing, and we have that ability. But when we're only trapped again in that left computer brain,
Mm.
so they came in for a visit, and there were gold people too, and they visited with us, and we just had the best time. And how did we communicate? Not in English, not in Bangladesh, not in Russian. We communicated with consciousness.
Mm.
And with consciousness, it's the connection. Do you know that this is the quantum truth? You are the truth. But when you let go of fear, and by the way, fear is lack of correct information. And if anybody tells you it's, false evidence appearing real, just hit them over the head, but in a nice, kind way. That is BS. Unless you're planning on, putting someone up for murder charges. Fear is lack of correct information. That's what it is. And again, information is in form at your ion level. So, my information connected with theirs.
So on this next photo, we have two photos here. So this is another photo here.
Yep.
So is this the gold people?
No, that's actually the blue people.
Oh, still the blue people. Cool.
And I have lots more pictures, but they came in through the door. Now, those are doors with the wooden panels, and they came in because guess what? Guess what? You know what? We have been taught limitations. But you actually, when you tune into the quantum truth within you, you can connect with all sorts of individuals. And guess what? These are non-duality because I'm a snob. I'm not interested. Oh, yes, I like the Pleiadians or the Cirrus Beings or whatever, but they're all duality based. And by the way, just as a tidbit, do you know that Northern Pleiadians will fight with Southern Pleiadians? Does that sound like Northern, Irish fighting with Southern Irish? It's the same thing. It's duality, folks. But when you get out of that resonance of duality of right and wrong, good and bad, my way is a highway, this is color, that color, you know what? There is so much out there. But do the controllers like you to know that you can do this? Well, if you can do this, then how could you be controlled? You can't because you are in your truth, the resonance of truth. And this is so spectacular. And would you like to share your story?
I was going to say, a lot of you may not know this, but I am actually a blue person.
Yes.
Sherry actually told me about this. And for me, it was about going back and being like, what does that mean? So I guess a question for you that I'm very interested in is, how do you know I'm a blue person?
Because of what happened when you came and visited me.
Right.
Ooh, this blue beam came and they projected their blue world.
So if you guys don't know this will be on our content and stuff, and you may be hearing it on the podcast, but I went to Sherry's property. It was pretty awesome. Absolutely wild experience. If there's things on camera that these orbs floating around, and the blue planet, literally, you can't see it with your naked eye, only with photos. And I have physical proof of this. And the craziest thing that was really blew my mind, I was like, okay, well, I'm on the right thing, is not even me. Someone taking the actual cell phone, me just walking just randomly by, and there's this blue beam of light coming down. And again, Cherry's telling me it's still up there. You just can't see it, but in the video, you can. It's clear as day, just falls and like a tracking beam. And for me, that was like, whoa. Okay, well, so that's how she knows I'm a blue person, because she hangs out with a lot of the blue peeps, right?
Yeah, so if in many of them, there's so many. But this is the part. When people come in this life, they say, well, I'm this or I'm that, but they have other. I do not do past life regressions. There's no such thing.
Right.
It's a time continuum accessibility. And that is what Cassidy's doing. He is connecting to his time continuum in another space and place. That is non-duality. And yet go ahead.
Oh, sorry. So for this, so I'm a blue person, but these blue people are different than me?
No,
because,
they could be your relatives.
Right.
They could be your forebearers or your future bearers.
Okay.
Got it? Because that's time is in the moment. There's no past, present, and future. It's in the moment. It doesn't mean we don't have experiences in other timelines.
Okay.
But this is you truly becoming multidimensional. This is you.
Right.
That's what's happening because you're open. And you know what? When people come to me and they'll say, I'm ready, I go, ready for what?
Right.
Who cares?
A lot of people come to you expecting like, what's my greater purpose? And you're just like, you're just this person in the timeline. It's like, don't I have a bigger purpose? And you're like, no. I've never heard that from you before. So blunt and honest. Like, so if you're coming to her for that, she's going to tell you what you are. So,
but the purpose is to have purposes, to have purposes, because you have many, and one is to become conscious and to become your quantum self. Can you imagine if everyone, and I do every day, on this planet, that everyone is our quantum self, what we could create here as a real human on this planet?
Right. That's unbelievable. I mean, to get to that level would be amazing.
But you can.
We'll talk about that in the next episode. We're out of time. So, again, just keep with us. This is What They Won't Tell You with Sherry Anshara, Quantum Truth.